Very warm welcome to this anxiety management program brought to you by Burton and Uttoxeter Community Mental Health Team. The actual learning for this workshop has been broken down into lots of edible chunks, as we felt that was probably the best way of inviting you to learn about anxiety management. The actual workshop has been designed to help you to manage your anxiety in a practical way. And we advise you to watch the recordings several times over and use them as a reminder to yourself of the points that have been covered. It is important to realise that from the outset, overcoming your difficulties is an active process. And to be successful, you'll need to make a commitment. That's a commitment to yourself about working actively on your difficulties and recording your progress. Remember, at the end of the day, it will only be you who will succeed. So let's think about your commitment. The only way to manage your anxiety is to commit yourself to a systematic and regular effort over the next few months. Just watching the recordings will not be enough to help you, and whilst you may groan at the thought of that, unfortunately, that is the reality. So what you will need to do is to watch the recordings, but added to that, you will need to practice what we've spoken about on each recording and engage in the activities that we suggest. We can guide you through the process. We can offer help and advice during the recordings if you run into difficulties, but it really is up to you. And if you are serious about wanting to overcome your difficulties, even if you don't know at present how, you need to make the commitments before you even start. So you might want to get a pen and paper now and write down some commitments to managing your anxiety. So it might be, I will, I can, I am, whatever it is you decide that you're going to put as a commitment to help you manage this anxiety, because it may seem a great mountain to climb at the moment. But actually, if you can commit yourself to the ideas that we offer, it is likely that you will start to make progress. And when you start to make progress, that will motivate you to do even more. And it is important during the listening to the recordings that you regularly evaluate your own progress. And we'll invite you to do that and keep track of how your behaviours may be changing and how stress may or may not be affecting you, and whether or not the problems that you may have changed. And it's really important for you to keep that as a record of any changes that are happening. So one of the first things we might invite you to do is to buy a diary, so that you haven't got lots of paper knocking about, that you've got a diary that you can write straight into. Alternatively, for the techno-minded people, then you might want to speak into a recorder, or you might want to type directly into a document in your computer. It's entirely up to you. Okay, well, that's the introduction. So what I'm going to be talking about in this session 1, are three things. I'm going to talk about anxiety. What is it? And then I'm going to talk about how we experience anxiety. And the third thing I'm going to talk about is the fight-flight response.